I shall try, Sylvia, but after you have pleaded. We have to work on the assumption that the trial will go ahead.
Yeah, but that's not fair.
Well, we'll see. I'm afraid there's been a very recent judgment against our point in the House of Lords.
What do they know about it?
The law.
But they're just there to support police.
Well, we'll try. Now, you'd better go and report to the policeman. And good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Pretty girl.
Well, you've got her address in your brief. I think her rates are competitive.
Well, I don't think she'll be available for quite a few months.
If the trial goes ahead at all.
Oh, I think it will.
Sylvia Turner, on this indictment you are charged with perjury, contrary to Section 1 of the Perjury Act 1911. The particulars are that on the 16th of May 1976, in the Fulchester Magistrates Court, you knowingly gave false evidence on oath that on the 12th of February 1976 you were not soliciting for immoral purposes, whereas in fact you were. How do you plead to this charge? Are you guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
My lord, I request that you dismiss this charge on the grounds that it is oppressive and an abuse of this court and the process of law. I should like to urge...
Before you urge anything, Miss Scott, should we not ask the jury to retire?
Well, as your lordship pleases. However, the defence is perfectly willing for the jury to hear all the argument. In certain circumstances, we feel it might help the defence and the process of justice.
While asking the jury to note that the defence and the process of justice are not necessarily the same thing. Well, I have no objection to allowing the jury to remain. Mr. Parsons?
I have no objections, my lord.
Very well. Members of the jury, you are about to hear a legal argument between counsel as to whether this trial should proceed at all. It is not part of the trial in the sense that you have to decide anything. Normally, you would retire at this point. But the defense counsel has requested that you should remain, and I have decided to allow it. Miss Scott.
In today's trial for perjury, the jury has been selected from members of the public whose names appeared on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service. Mr. Parsons appears for the prosecution and Miss Scott for the defence. Mr. Justice Crowther-Smith presides in the case of the Queen against Turner.
My lord, this charge arises out of the events at a trial in Fulchester Magistrates Court. Miss Turner was tried for a crime for which she was found not guilty. The police rearrested her and have charged her with perjury on the basis of her evidence. My lord, it is a long-standing principle in common law that a person should not stand in double jeopardy, that he should not subsequently be tried for an offence for which he has been found not guilty. I would submit, my lord, that bringing a charge of perjury on the basis of the defendant's evidence amounts exactly to this, and therefore the charge is abusive and oppressive.
Mr. Parsons?
My lord, I'm sure your lordship would be well aware of the recent case of Regina versus Humphreys in the House of Lords. I have the weekly law report dated June 4th, 1976 here. In that case, their lordships unanimously decided that in a very similar case, that is a case of perjury arising out of another trial, that the case was properly brought and that the issue estoppel does not apply in criminal law. In particular, Lord Salmon said that in his view the issue would be inappropriate, artificial and unnecessary. Now, in any case, my lord, the issue does not apply here. The defendant was found not guilty of prostitution, and here she is charged with perjury.
My lord, in my learned friend's anxiety to use the word prostitution, he seems to have overlooked the fact that prostitution is not an offence in English law, and therefore my client could not have been found not guilty of committing it. If my learned friend will bear with me, I will concede that she was found not guilty of soliciting for an immoral purpose. It doesn't roll so cuttingly off the tongue as prostitution, but in all accuracy, that was what the court found she hadn't done.
My lord, I am, of course, grateful to my learned friend for her correction. However, scoring points aside, the main point stands. I have here the law report.
Have you anything further to say, Miss Scott?
No, my lord, I too have the report here, and I can see nothing in it which would make it improper for your lordship to dismiss this case.
I see. Well, it will surprise neither of you, I hope, to learn that I too have studied that report very carefully, and it seems quite clear to me from their lordships' judgment, whatever may have been commonly thought before, that this case is perfectly properly brought. Even if the defendant was found not guilty in a previous case, I shall have to accept the same evidence again in this case. Lord Salmon said quite specifically that a judge, and I quote, that a judge had not and should not appear to have any responsibilities for the institution of prosecutions, nor had a judge any power to refuse to allow a prosecution to proceed merely because he considered that as a matter of policy it should not have been brought. So, unless and until Parliament enacts a new law, it is quite clear to me that I must allow this trial to proceed.
My lord, I accept, of course, as I must, your judgment. However, I hope your lordship will allow me to point out to the jury as this trial proceeds where I believe the prosecution is vexatious and abusive, a case where the noble lord said a judge could intervene.
You may raise points as you think fit, Miss Scott.
Thank you, my lord.
And I will rule upon them as I think fit.
Of course, my lord.
Mr. Parsons?
Lord. Members of the jury, you will have gathered this is a most unusual case. Briefly, it arose like this. The defendant, Sylvia Turner, was arrested for soliciting for an immoral purpose. She was tried at the Fulchester Magistrates' Court, where she pleaded not guilty. She gave sworn evidence in support of her plea and was found not guilty. However, the police were not satisfied that justice had been done, and they continued their investigations. They gathered evidence that Miss Turner had in fact committed perjury during the trial. She was charged and arrested, and she appears here to answer those charges. Now, I want you to remember that we are not here today to try Miss Turner for soliciting for an immoral purpose, but what we do say is that she committed perjury when she said she was not. Now, at the Magistrates' Court, the police called only one witness, Police Constable Wilkins. We will be calling other witnesses to establish beyond doubt that Miss Turner was soliciting. However, first of all, I will call the arresting officer. I call Police Constable Wilkins. Constable, will you tell the court the details of your arrest of Miss Turner on February the 12th?
May I use my notebook, my lord?
Were your notes made at the time?
About 10 minutes after.
Very well.
Thank you, my lord. I was in a panda car, parked at the junction of Filing Street and High Street, Fulchester, when I saw the defendant, Miss Sylvia Turner, standing in the shop doorway of Brannigan's. She appeared to be looking at the people passing, and in fact she spoke to several men. As one man passed her, I saw her approach him and speak to him. The man then hurried off as if embarrassed. I got out the car and I arrested Miss Turner for soliciting.
I see. Now, you don't arrest every woman who speaks to a man.
No, sir. But the defendant is a known prostitute. And it was obvious from the way she was talking to men and the way in which she approached the final man, his embarrassment in hurrying off, that she was soliciting.
Yes. Now, you said that Miss Turner is a known prostitute.
Oh, yes. I've arrested her 3 or 4 times myself.
Yes. Did the accused say anything to you when you arrested her?
She was abusive, sir.
Yes. Now, you say that Miss Turner is a known prostitute.
That's right.
And you had no doubt that what you saw that afternoon was Miss Turner soliciting men in the street.
No doubt at all.
Yes. And this evidence is exactly the same as you gave at the Magistrates' Court.
Certainly. It's what happened.
Yes. Thank you, Constable.
Constable, what did Miss Turner say to the last man?
I didn't hear.
Why not?
Well, I was inside a car and 40 yards away.
Ah, so she could have been saying good morning, or your shoelace is undone, or Jesus saves, and you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
I shouldn't have thought it was the last one.
Oh, Constable, why not?
Well, as I said,
She was a known prostitute. Yes, we heard you, Constable. Have you ever heard of Mary Magdalene?
Yes.
And how would you describe her?
My lord...
A known prostitute, Constable.
I think you've made your point, Miss Scott.
Yes, my lord. Constable, you must have gathered how long she spoke. I mean, you did see her lips move.
Well, it was 40 yards and people were passing.
Yes, of course, Constable. So how do you know Miss Turner spoke first?
I'm afraid I don't quite understand, ma'am.
Well, it's very simple, Constable. If Miss Turner was soliciting, as you put it, she must have spoken first, don't you agree?
Not necessarily, ma'am.
Oh?
Well, the man could have said to her, your shoelace is undone, and then she could have asked him if he wanted a short time.
But you're not suggesting that is what happened?
No,
Because you couldn't, could you? You have no idea who spoke first, have you?
It looked to me as if she was soliciting.
But exactly how? Did she lift her skirt, jingle keys, do a striptease?
No, ma'am.
They talked, and the man hurried away.
That's right.
You were in the corridor when my learned friend and I came into court. You saw us.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking, and my learned friend walked away, you remember?
Yes.
But you didn't arrest me.
Well, no, ma'am. The services for which you receive a fee are not, so far as I know, illegal.
Very good, Constable. But nor are Miss Turner's.
It is illegal to solicit for an immoral purpose.
I know that. But you have to convince the jury that she was soliciting. Now, I put it to you that the man spoke to Miss Turner first.
Not so far as I saw. She approached him.
Well, whether or not she took a step towards him, you have absolutely no way of knowing who spoke first.
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Constable. Now, you said you arrested her. You haven't told us what she said.
Well, I approached Miss Turner, and I informed her I was arresting her for soliciting. And she replied, "Piss off, Wilkie, I'm not working."
But you did not believe her.
I'd seen her soliciting.
You had seen a man and a woman talking and assumed the woman was soliciting. Now, if Miss Turner had not been a known prostitute, would the briefest of brief conversations have excited your interest?
My lord, how can the constable possibly answer such a hypothetical question?
I withdraw the question, my lord. Yes. Constable, you have told the court that when you approached Miss Turner, she told you that she was not soliciting.
Yes.
Did you do anything to check your suspicions?
I don't see what you mean, ma'am.
Well, did you, for example, ask the man what she had said to him?
No, not at the time, no.
Well, I am talking about what happened at that time. It did not occur to you to go to the man first and check.
It's not usual in such cases. The man had already been embarrassed, and where it was clear to me
But
that...
was it clear, Constable? That is the point. You say you were afraid of embarrassing the man, but you had no compunction in embarrassing Miss Turner.
Well, we're not usually concerned with a criminal's embarrassment when we arrest them.
No, of course not, Constable, but the state does require you to be sure that a person is a criminal before you arrest them. Now, I shall return to the man later. Now, you said, Miss Turner said, "Piss off, Wilkie, I'm not working."
That's right.
That's a very familiar mode of address, isn't it?
You get used to such language.
No, I'm talking about your name. It sounds as if you were old friends.
She knew me.
Yes, of course she did, Constable. How many times have you arrested her?
It's hard to be sure. 2 or 3 times.
In fact, 3 times. September 74, January 75, and the case under trial now in February 76. She was also arrested for soliciting by another policeman in May 75. Now, do those dates mean anything to you?
No.
Well, let me put it to you, Constable. There is an interval of 5 months in the first 3 arrests. September 74 to January 75, then January 75 to May 75. Then there's a longer gap, May 75 to February 76, twice as long. How do you account for that?
She must have been getting clever, ma'am.
Or she gave up working the streets in that period.
I can't say.
No, of course you can't, Constable. But it is interesting that you assumed she was still working. Now, I put it to you that you operate a sort of rota system in arresting known prostitutes.
I don't know what you mean, ma'am.
That you pick up known prostitutes regularly on the assumption that they are still working.
No, we only pick up women when we see them working.
But it is interesting, Constable, isn't it, that Miss Turner's first 3 arrests were so regularly spaced?
Coincidence, ma'am.
Perhaps. Or perhaps every 5 months Miss Turner had a brainstorm and picked up a client under the noses of the police. If I tell you, Constable, that prostitutes in this town are reasonably sure that they know when they will be arrested, would you be surprised?
No.
Why not?
Well, we have an efficient police force. And if anyone sets out to break the law, they can be reasonably sure of getting caught.
Very good, Constable. But I am talking about women who are breaking the law, as you put it, all the time, yet they know to within a week or 2 when they will be arrested. Now, do you still maintain that you don't pick up known prostitutes regularly without bothering over much about whether or not they were soliciting at the time?
No, definitely not.
Nevertheless, you are pretty accurate in your arrests, aren't you? Almost always the women plead guilty, don't they?
Usually.
My lord, I followed this line of questioning very closely for some time, but I fail to see what relevance it has to this case.
I'm sure I can show its relevance in a very short time, my lord, if you will pardon the expression.
Very well, Miss Scott. I do hope so, because at the moment I am in sympathy with Mr. Parsons.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Constable, when was the last time that a woman you arrested for soliciting plead not guilty?
In the case of Miss Turner.
I see. And before that?
I can't remember any.
None?
No.
Constable, I looked up the records for this town, and I find that in the past 96 cases of soliciting, only Miss Turner pleaded not guilty. Now, does that surprise you?
No, it shows how careful we are.
I put it to you that it shows how the system works. Miss Turner had the temerity to plead not guilty, and the police decided that this should not go unpunished, so she finds herself in the dock for perjury.
Oh, my lord, that is grossly improper. My learned friend must know that an officer of the rank of constable cannot initiate a prosecution for perjury. How can the officer possibly comment or answer such a proposition?
Miss Scott, I think you've taken this line of questioning as far as it can properly go, unless you're going to be more specific.
My lord, I have to establish the whole circumstances and atmosphere of that first trial to explain how a perjury charge came to be brought. Now, my lord, I do submit that I can establish that the charge is vexatious and abusive if you will allow me to pursue this line just a little further.
Yes, well, try not to be too long about it, Miss Scott.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord. I shall need very little more time. Now, Constable, you must have been very surprised when Miss Turner pleaded not guilty.
Well, it's everybody's right.
Well, thank you, Constable. I don't need lessons in English law from you. Were you or were you not surprised when Miss Turner pleaded not guilty?
Yes.
Angry, even?
I wouldn't say that.
But you were angry when she established that she was, in fact, not guilty.
She didn't, as far as I was concerned. The jury found her not guilty, but I knew she was.
Even though you hadn't checked with the man concerned?
Yes.
But were you angry?
Well, no one likes having their word doubted.
My lord, I have asked this witness the same question twice. Each time he evades it. He is wasting the limited time your lordship has kindly allowed me.
You must answer the questions directly.
I'm sorry, my lord.
Now, Constable, were you angry?
No.
I put it to you that you and your colleagues were angry because Miss Turner had broken the unwritten rules. She had pleaded not guilty, and if women accused of soliciting started to do that, you would all be involved in a great deal more work. And so this perjury charge was brought so that it wouldn't become a habit.
No.
Now, I put it to you that you were angry too because Miss Turner had unexpectedly brought a social worker to give evidence for her.
No.
And so this charge of perjury was brought so that the girls wouldn't think that they could use the courts for justice instead of an unofficial system of paying tax.
No.
My lord, my learned friend is getting answers to her questions, but because she doesn't like them, she's taking to answering them herself. She's not here to give evidence.
Miss Scott, you're beginning to make speeches. Do not follow this line of questioning any longer.
As your lordship pleases.
Have you any further questions for this witness?
Yes, my lord.
Well, then I hope they'll be on a different topic.
Yes, my lord. Constable, did you know any of the men who approached Miss Turner?
I knew slightly the final man who Miss Turner approached.
Slightly, you say?
Yes.
My lord, I believe the man in question is going to be called by the prosecution. It would greatly help if we could hear his evidence before I finish my cross-examination of this witness.
Oh, really, Miss Scott?
Justice cannot otherwise be done.
My lord, if it will assist, I have no objections.
Oh, very well.
In that case, my lord, I will reserve my re-examination.
Yes, you may leave the witness box, officer.
My lord, as the constable hasn't finished giving evidence, I would prefer it that he did not remain to hear the other evidence.
You will wait outside, Constable.
My lord, I had planned to call W.P.C. Jones, who took Miss Turner's statement at Fulchester Police Station. However, since I understand her evidence is not in dispute, I simply plan to read it.
My lord, I do realize that the prosecution had a backup witness to establish that Miss Turner was a prostitute, but as I am making no secret of that fact, I can see why my learned friend does not wish to call the policewoman. However, I do have some questions for her, and if necessary, I shall call her as a defense witness.
My lord, there is, of course, no need for my learned friend to do that. I will call W.P. Sir Jones and order that my learned friend can question her.
Very well.
And you took the statement from Miss Turner at the police station?
That's right.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Jones.
Miss Jones, why did you take down Miss Turner's statement?
I was told to by the station sergeant.
I see. It is usual for the arresting officer to do this, isn't it?
Well, yes, but Police Constable Wilkins was going off duty. Well, it's not all that unusual.
What did you say when you saw P.C. Wilkins bringing in Miss Turner?
Oh, I can't remember.
Miss Jones, this woman is on trial for a very serious offence. I must ask you to try to remember.
Something like, here we are again, then?
Ah, something like, but not quite. I put it to you that you said, "You're overdue, aren't you? You'll be thinking it's legal."
Well, I may have made a joke. I do know the defendant.
But did you say those words?
I can't remember, as I said.
So you can't deny that you said those words?
No.
Well, let's look at them. You're overdue, aren't you? What does that mean?
I don't know. You
And
said
you'll
I
be-
said them, I didn't.
And you'll be thinking it's legal. What does that mean?
My lord, this witness has already correctly said she cannot be asked to give the meaning of words she has sworn she can't remember saying.
Very well, my lord, I will not press the point. Miss Jones, do you know the defendant?
Yes.
Where have you met her?
At the station several times, and of course on the streets, working.
Have you ever arrested her?
No.
Why not?
I don't understand.
Well, you say you saw her soliciting, but you didn't arrest her.
Well, I believe she was working, but I didn't actually see her approach a man when I was watching.
Well, nevertheless, you said on oath that you saw her working. And as she is a prostitute, that means she was soliciting. Now, did you or did you not see her working?
I assumed she was waiting for men.
Ah, you assumed. And if a man had come along and words had been exchanged, you would have assumed that the woman was soliciting for an immoral purpose.
Well, it would depend.
On what, Miss Jones?
Well, on the way she approached the man's attitude and so on.
But how would you know what the man's attitude was? Would you go up and ask him?
We try not to embarrass innocent members of the public.
Oh, so rather than check on who approached whom, you would assume that the woman was soliciting?
Only if the nature of the approach was obvious.
Miss Jones, do the police ever receive complaints from women about being approached by men, in cars, for example?
Sometimes.
Oh, so there are men who look for women on the streets for immoral purposes?
Yes.
And if one of these men went up to a known prostitute and solicited her and then walked away, who would you arrest?
Well, the man, probably, for conduct likely to cause a breach of the peace.
If you had heard what he had said.
Yes.
And if you hadn't even seen who had spoken first, and the woman was a known prostitute.
I'm
My
not
lord,
sure.
my learned friend seems to be conducting a half-dozen defences, all for hypothetical clients.
I think you've made your point, Miss Scott.
I'm sure I have, my lord. I have no further questions of this witness.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are fictitious, and you can join us tomorrow when the case of the Queen against Turner will be resumed in the Crown Court. Sylvia Turner, a common prostitute, was arrested for soliciting for an immoral purpose, but was found not guilty at the magistrate's court. The police were not satisfied with the verdict, and after further investigation, arrested Miss Turner and charged her with perjury on the basis of her evidence at the original trial. The jury in today's trial is selected from members of the public, whose names appear on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service. After police evidence, the prosecution's case continues in the Crown Court.
You are Philip Hall.
Yes.
of 53 Landfield Grove, Fulchester?
Yes.
What is your occupation, Mr. Hall?
I'm an under-manager at the UFK supermarket in the High Street.
I see. Do you remember the events of February the 12th this year?
Yes.
Yes. Now, will you please tell the court the circumstances of Miss Turner's arrest near Brannigan's that day?
Well, I was walking back to the supermarket after my lunch, and I noticed this woman stood in Brannigan's shop doorway.
Could you say who this woman was?
Yeah, it was the defendant, there.
Yes. Now, you're quite sure about that?
Oh, yes.
Good. Carry on.
Well, as I passed the doorway, she spoke to me.
Yes. Now, you're quite sure that she spoke first?
Yes.
Yes. What did she say?
Something like, lovely day.
Yes. What did you say?
Something like, too nice to be working.
Yes. Can you remember what she said then?
Yes, I can remember that exactly. She said, surely you can take half an hour off. I said, what for? She said, you can have a lot of fun in half an hour.
Yes. And you took that to be an approach for an immoral purpose.
Well, no, I wasn't sure then, but I was sure when she said, half an hour back at my place and you won't notice the work for the rest of the day.
I see. So there was then no doubt in your mind that Miss Turner was inviting you back to her flat for an immoral purpose.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hall, you said you were an under-manager at the supermarket.
Yes.
What are your duties?
General. Supervising the store under the manager.
I see. And what do you supervise, specifically?
The staff. The general running of the shop.
Do you see to the loading of the shelves, arrange staff rotas?
No.
So what exactly do you do, Mr. Hall?
Mainly watch for shoplifting and so on.
Ah, you are the security officer at the supermarket.
Security is part of an under-manager's job.
If necessary, I can call witnesses to prove that you have described yourself as a security officer when you are not appearing as a police witness in a court. Now, are you or are you not the security officer at the supermarket?
Yes.
Good. So why did you describe yourself as the under-manager?
Well, that is my grade within the organisation.
So you weren't actually committing perjury when you described yourself as an under-manager?
No, of course not.
Good. You just thought it would be more convenient to describe yourself that way.
That is my grade.
Now, as security officer, you must fairly often come into contact with the police.
Fairly often, yes.
So you know P.C. Wilkins?
Yes.
Quite well?
Professionally.
I see. You meet him when you have caught a shoplifter and you send for the police?
Yes, that sort of thing.
So you have seen him fairly often?
Yes.
Now, please tell the court exactly what happened when P.C. Wilkins came to ask you what had happened outside Brannigan's.
Well, he came into the shop and asked me if I remembered the incident.
And of course you did.
Oh, yes. It was only a day or so before, after all.
I see. And you told him exactly what you told the court today.
That's right.
He didn't prompt you in any way?
No.
No. It's important for you in your job that you have the cooperation of the police, isn't it?
Well, it is. But every law-abiding citizen has that.
Yes, but you're not a typical law-abiding citizen. You are part of the law enforcement scene.
Certainly not officially.
No, but unofficially.
Yes.
And you wouldn't want any behaviour of yours to spoil the smooth working relationship you have with the police.
There's no reason for that to happen.
I'm sure there isn't, Mr. Hall. Now, did you know Miss Turner before this happened?
I knew her by sight, certainly.
How was that?
Well, I work on the High Street. I've seen her working.
Did you speak to her often?
No.
Did you speak to her at all?
Oh, I may have said good morning.
Oh, come along, Mr. Hall. I put it to you that you had quite a jokey, bantering relationship with Miss Turner.
No, absolutely not. I had no sort of relationship with her at all.
I am not accusing you of trying to procure Miss Turner, Mr. Hall. I'm just saying that on occasion you exchange pleasantries in a friendly way.
No.
My instructions are, Mr. Hall, that it was you, as a joke, of course, who actually suggested going off together for half an hour.
No, that's not true.
And she said that she wasn't working.
No, it was as I said.
Understand me, Mr. Hall, no one is seriously suggesting that you meant to go with Miss Turner, but that cheerfully, banteringly, you said it was too nice for work, how about a short time?
No. Absolutely not.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
I have no further questions of this witness, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. You may go and sit down.
I call Mrs. Elaine Lloyd. Mrs. Lloyd, you work as a supervisor at Brannigan's department store.
Yes.
Now, will you tell the court exactly what you saw on the morning that Miss Turner was arrested?
Well, I was standing near the men's shirt counter.
Yes. That's on the ground floor.
That's right, it's nearest the door. It used to be ladies' fashions, but then these market research people reorganised the store. And they said that women will go upstairs to shop, but men buy quickly or not at all.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Lloyd. So you were standing near the door. What did you see?
Oh, I saw that woman.
The woman in the dock?
Yes, her. I saw her speak to Mr. Hall.
Now, let's get this absolutely clear, Mrs. Lloyd. You saw Miss Turner speak to Mr. Hall.
Yes.
And what did Mr. Hall do?
He spoke very shortly to the woman and hurried off.
Yes, and you've absolutely no doubt in your mind as to whom approached whom.
No, none. That woman was soliciting.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Lloyd.
Mrs. Lloyd, you recognised that woman, as you put it.
Oh, yes, I've seen her before and several of her kind.
You feel very strongly that prostitutes should be punished, do you, Mrs. Lloyd?
Well, of course I do. It's disgusting.
And what is your attitude to the men, Mrs. Lloyd?
They're just weak, aren't they? I mean, if the girls weren't there to tempt
Ah,
them...
they just buy on impulse, do they, Mrs. Lloyd? They don't go upstairs, so to speak.
Well, yes, I suppose it is the same thing.
You know Mr. Hall, the security officer at the supermarket, do you?
Oh, yes.
You couldn't imagine him initiating a conversation with a prostitute.
Impossible.
Could you tell us again, Mrs. Lloyd, what you saw on that day?
Well, that woman was talking to Mr.
Just
Hall.
a minute, Mrs. Lloyd. You said was talking. Did you see Mr. Hall walking along the pavement before she spoke to him?
Well, no, as I said...
No, you said you saw Miss Turner talking to Mr. Hall, but he was standing still.
Yes.
Do you know why he was standing still?
No.
So, when you looked out, you saw Mr. Hall standing and Miss Turner talking to him.
Well, that's right, as I said.
But you don't know why he was standing. Now, it could be because she had called him, or it could be because he wanted to talk to her. The point is, you looked after someone had already spoken. The question is who? Miss Turner or Mr. Hall?
Well, it must have been the girl she was soliciting.
No, Mrs. Lloyd, that is what we are here to find out. Now, apart from your prejudice and what you think of Miss Turner or anyone else, is there any evidence? Can you remember anything that would prove to you and to us that it was Miss Turner who spoke first?
Well, she was speaking when I saw her.
But we have already established that the encounter had already started before you noticed it, Mrs. Lloyd. Who spoke first?
Well, I don't know.
Thank you, Mrs. Lloyd. I have no further questions, my lord.
Nor I, my lord.
Very well. Thank you, Mrs. Lloyd. You may leave the witness box.
My lord, that concludes the case for the prosecution, apart from the unfinished evidence of P.C. Wilkins.
Ah, yes.
I should be grateful, my lord, if I could complete my cross-examination of P.C. Wilkins now.
Very well. Recall the constable.
Now, you will remember you are still on oath.
Of course.
Now, you said in your previous evidence that you knew Mr. Hall slightly.
That's right.
But we have heard Mr. Hall say that he had quite a lot of dealings with the police in his job as a security officer.
Well, I'm not the whole of the police force, ma'am.
Nevertheless, you did recognize him at the time of the encounter with Miss Turner.
Yes.
You said, too, that the police would prefer not to compound the embarrassment caused by a prostitute to an innocent member of the public by checking with them.
That's right.
You saw what you took to be an act of soliciting an unofficial colleague of yours, a man who watches out for thieves, often women, stuffing stolen goods all over their anatomy, and you didn't check with him in case he blushed.
Well, there was no need. I was sure of the offence.
But when she was found not guilty, you knew exactly where to go to collect evidence for this trial.
I knew the man had been approached, yes.
And you were so incensed by the miscarriage of justice that you had to summon on all your courage and approach Mr. Hall even if he did blush.
I asked him what had happened.
As a matter of interest, did he squirm with embarrassment?
Of course not.
So, your tender concern had not been necessary after all. You found Mr. Hall ready to give evidence.
Yes.
And he would want to keep his relationship with you in good repair.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't you, Constable? Did he remember the case?
Yes, very well, and he read the press reports. He said he was thinking of coming to us.
Ah, yes, the press reports. They weren't very favourable to the police, were they?
They reported the case.
Ah, yes, they did indeed. And the magistrate's comment and the editor commented. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of the Fulchester Gazette here with me. Magistrates reprimand the police. Do you remember that?
Of course I do.
Yes, of course. You and your colleagues must have been very upset at all that adverse publicity.
Well, no one likes unfair criticism.
But not everyone has as much power to do something about it. Now, I put it to you that you were determined to upset that verdict and set out to collect evidence to do so.
I did what I was told.
And what precisely were you told?
The inspector had me in and he asked me in detail about the case. I told him I was convinced I'd done the right thing, and he told me to prove it.
Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it, Constable. You weren't told to check the truth of your idea of what happened. You were told to prove it.
Yes.
And so you went along to your friend, Mr. Hall.
He's not my friend.
Very well, you went along to Mr. Hall, who you found knew all about the case, had read the papers, and knew exactly what you wanted.
He told me what had happened.
And you weren't surprised that it coincided exactly with your evidence as reported in the Fulchester Gazette?
No, why should I be?
No reason, Constable, no reason at all. And then you came across Mrs. Lloyd, who could also corroborate your story.
That's right.
But how did you come across her?
Routine. The offence occurred in Brannigan's doorway, and I went into the shop to find out if anyone saw it.
And you found Mrs. Lloyd?
She had seen it, yes.
But it was fortunate for you that she just happened to be looking out of the window at the time.
I suppose
Even if
so.
she didn't see the start of the encounter and therefore can't tell who started it. Constable, I put it to you that this prosecution arises out of the determination of the police to discourage prostitutes from pleading not guilty and so causing...
My
I have
lord.
finished with this witness, my lord.
Oh, Constable, you've been subjected to a great deal of innuendo. Shall we clear away some of this emotional fog and look at the evidence?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as you were concerned that afternoon, you were convinced that what you saw was a known prostitute working in the normal way.
Yes, sir.
You've no personal feelings about this case, one way or another.
No, sir. Well, if anything, I quite liked the defendant. She was always cheerful and friendly.
I see. So there was no reason, is no reason for you suddenly to become the fiend my learned friend is trying to make you.
My lord?
I withdraw that, my lord. Was there any reason for you to continue the case after the magistrate's court?
Only because there'd been a miscarriage of justice, sir.
Yes, and it is the duty of the police to remedy that.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Constable. I've no further questions, my lord. That concludes the case for the prosecution.
Very well, thank you, Constable. Yes, Miss Scott.
My lord, I submit that the prosecution has done nothing to show why this case can properly be brought. They have brought as witnesses only people who could have been brought to the magistrate's court. The charge refers exactly to the material of the original trial, and I would submit, my lord, that the continued trial of my client is vexatious and abusive.
Miss Scott, my original ruling was not based on the nature of the evidence. It was based on the House of Lords ruling, Regina v. Humphreys, 1976. Therefore, the trial must go on. Please open your case.
As your lordship pleases. Members of the jury, by now you will be very well aware of the facts of this case. Indeed, I hope you are even now in a position to weigh the evidence and find for my client before you have even heard the defense witnesses. However, there is one witness that I do intend to call who should convince you that Miss Turner was not working at the relevant time. Before that, however, I call the accused.
What is your religion? Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words written on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Now, Miss Turner, you do realise the significance of that oath.
Yes, I do.
It's very important that you tell the truth. After all, if the police don't agree with the jury in this trial, we should hate them to bring you back to be tried for perjury in your perjury trial.
My lord, that is a gross slur on the police.
Miss Scott, please confine yourself to examining your witness.
Yes, my lord. Miss Turner, what do you do for a living?
I'm a prostitute.
How long have you been a prostitute?
About 9 years.
That's a long time for someone so young.
Is it?
Did you choose to become a prostitute?
It's hard to say, really. I mean,
Well, when exactly did you start going with men for money?
I don't know. You go with a bloke when you're 14, gives you a present. Then about a year later, you're a bit clever. You make sure you've learned to make him give you a present before you go in.
No, I'm not talking about giving presents, Miss Turner. I'm talking about the provision of sex for money as a commercial transaction.
Well, in the beginning, there isn't that much difference. You see, I didn't have a dad. Well, not since I was 6, he took off. And my mother were never there, so, well, I had to look after my brother and sisters.
How many?
1 brother, 2 sisters.
Go on.
Well, when I left school, I didn't get a job. I looked after them.
What about your mother?
She was always pissed. Sorry, my lord, she was drunk. I didn't have any money. If I wanted, a dress or anything, I had to find a way of getting it.
By prostitution?
Yes. I'd always been a gifted amateur, as they say. So going professional wasn't that much of a step.
And did you ever bring the men home?
No, I couldn't do that. Because of the kids, you see. I brought them up proper. I wanted them to behave themselves.
Oh, my lord, this is all very fascinating, nay, heart-rending, but I fail to see what it's got to do with this case.
My lord, this whole case rests on the truthfulness of the accused. Surely the jury must be able to know enough about her to judge that.
Yes, I can see that, Miss Scott, but I do hope that your examination of your client's background won't be going on too long.
No, my lord. Now, Miss Turner, you said that you brought them up properly. You mean that neither of your sisters are prostitutes?
Yes, I do mean that. They both got good jobs. In fact, they're both married now.
And that pleases you?
Yes, of course it does.
Now, you still haven't explained exactly how you became a prostitute. What became of your mother?
She had too much one night. She fell off a bus.
How old were you then?
I was about 17.
How did you cope with the children?
Well, I had to get money to make sure they're properly looked after for when they left home.
And you did that?
Yes.
By soliciting for men on the streets?
Yes.
Because you couldn't take them home?
I didn't want to. A short time in the park or down by the canal. Knee tremblers, mostly, you know, the sort of thing.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Standing up.
Ah, I see.
When my sisters got married, my lord, they left home. And my brother joined army. And I'd been caught by fuzz once or twice, so I thought, well, I might as well move inside, like. I knew some blokes who used to look me up, so I started at home.
Are you ashamed of being a prostitute?
No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not proud of it either. It's a job, isn't it?
Well, it is for you, but there are many people who wouldn't see it like that.
Well, I know that. I mean, I don't care, do I?
Don't you?
Well, there's no I can do about that.
But one witness suggested, Mrs. Lloyd, if you remember, that if there weren't women like you, men wouldn't be tempted.
Well, if there weren't men looking for sex, there wouldn't be women like us. I mean, it works both ways, doesn't it?
But not the punishments.
Well, no. That's the way it is. It's a man's world, isn't it?
Do you resent the fact that it's always the girls who get the blame?
No. There's not much point.
You mean you and your friends accept the fact that if you are picked up for soliciting, you just pay the fine and carry on?
Well, yeah, you have to, don't you?
Do you know of any prostitute who has been picked up whilst working and then denied it in court?
No. No, not round here, I don't. I mean, it's not worth it. If the magistrate know you are a known prostitute, then they're going to take police's word against yours, aren't they? And if you do deny it, you get a bigger fine.
So you just go along with the system?
Yeah, it's not that bad, really. I mean, the police are only doing their job. Straight people would really get on their backs if they never pulled in a working girl. So they all is in every few months just to show it isn't legal.
You seem to have no feelings of personal animosity toward the police.
I haven't. They're not bad on the whole.
But in the magistrate's court, you broke the rules, the unwritten rules. You pleaded not guilty.
Yes, I know I did. That would have been different. I mean, I was not working, I was shopping, and I did have a witness. That would have dead liberty.
Well, there are still the unwritten rules. The policeman's word is law, and so on.
Yes, and if I hadn't had a witness, I would have pleaded guilty.
So on this occasion, you decided not to take the easy way out.
Yes, that's right. Yes, actually, if I had not had a witness, I would probably have gone along with the system and pleaded guilty. Would that have been perjury?
Well, that is what we call in court a hypothetical question. You did plead not guilty. Now, was Miss Kershaw a willing witness?
Willing? She insisted. It's funny, isn't it? Straight people always think if you tell the truth, you can't be harmed.
But subsequently, Mr. Hall appeared and said that you were soliciting him.
Oh, but that's rubbish. I was shopping.
But he said you asked him if he wanted to go with you. Now, did you?
I could have done, but I weren't being serious.
What do you mean, not serious?
I knew he wouldn't, even if he did. I was shopping.
You were joking.
Yes, I was, and so was he.
Now, I have to get this very clear. Whatever happened between you and Mr. Hall, there was no possibility of it leading to any form of sexual intercourse.
No chance at all. I was shopping.
Now, the constable said that you spoke to several men. Is that true?
Well, I could have done. I know a lot of people on the high street. If I see somebody I know, I say hello, I'm polite.
But you did not solicit anyone for sexual purposes.
No, I keep saying I was shopping. Yeah.
Nevertheless, Mr. Hall said that you approached him. Did you know who he was?
Well, I used to work the high street. I get to know people who work there. Yeah.
Did you ever speak to him?
We used to joke sometimes.
What about?
Well, you used to say how's trade then. I remember once he asked me, and I said it were terrible. He said, I can't afford your prices. I'm waiting for January's sales.
Did you take him seriously?
No, he couldn't get involved, could he? Not with his job.
But you weren't unfriendly?
No, he's not a bad bloke, really. For a security man, that is.
Now, what about Mrs. Lloyd? Do you know her?
Well, I know by sight. I've never spoken to her.
Why not?
She always looks away when she sees me. She's doing it now. Or she looks daggers.
You formed the impression that she did not like you.
Well, that's not hard. She's a very typical uptight lady, isn't she?
So you weren't surprised to find her in the witness box?
No. Mind you, I'm not complaining.
What do you mean?
Well, it's women like her that give us our best clients. Their husbands can't get much fun at home, can they?
Oh, my lord.
I'm sorry.
Right. Miss Scott, I wouldn't think you serve your client's interests well by leading her into making such statements.
I'm sorry, my lord. Miss Turner, you said that you used to work the high street.
Yes, that is true, yes.
But you don't work the streets anymore.
No, not worth the candle. It used to be all right before my time, but it's not now.
So how do you make a living?
Well, I've got regulars. They recommend me to people. You can always put a card in a shop window. French lessons given. Swedish exercises taught. You know the sort of thing.
So you've no need at all to take the risk of working on the streets?
No, I can't even walk on them now, let alone work on them.
Thank you, Miss Turner.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are fictitious, and you can join us again tomorrow when the case of the Queen against Turner will be concluded in the Crown Court. Sylvia Turner, a common prostitute, was arrested for soliciting for an immoral purpose, but was found not guilty at the magistrate's court. The police were not satisfied with the verdict, and after further investigation, arrested Miss Turner and charged her with perjury on the basis of her evidence at the original trial. The jury in today's trial is selected from members of the public whose names appear on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service. We rejoin the trial as the prosecution counsel begins his cross-examination of Miss Turner.
Now, Miss Turner, you have said that you weren't working on the day in question.
Yes, that's right.
I put it to you that you were. Standing in an accustomed spot in the high street, seeing a man come along, you automatically accosted him.
Rubbish!
But you don't deny that if you were standing there working, as you so charmingly put it, you would solicit a man if he came along.
No, I wouldn't deny that, no.
Tell the court exactly what you did when you solicited a man.
Well, it varies, doesn't it? I mean, you look at a man and you smile, and you say, nice day, or nice evening. You take it from there.
But you don't say that to every man that passes.
No, just to the ones that look at you in a certain way.
I see. But if Mr. Hall had come up to you and asked for an appointment sometime, you would have made an arrangement.
Yes, of course I would. What do you think I'd do? Complain to police about him soliciting me?
You see, I proved to you that you were prepared on February the 12th to take any work that was offered, even though the primary object of your outing was shopping.
Isn't that what Miss Scott calls a diabolical question?
My lord, my client almost took the words out of my mouth, though I'm not sure she isn't more accurate in saying that I would have been saying hypothetical.
I'm afraid you're caught, Mr. Parsons, between the upper and the nether feminine millstones. Both are right.
Yes, my lord. Now, Miss Turner, you said you no longer work the streets.
Yes, that's true, I don't.
But surely you gathered your regulars, as you call them, in that way.
In the beginning I did, yes.
And surely, for one reason or another, these cease to become regulars and you have to find a fresh supply, so to speak.
Well, I haven't had any bother that way, no.
You mean you couldn't take any more clients if offered?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, no, yes.
So you do have time for more clients, then?
Well, if you know of anybody, I'm sure I could manage. Or you, if that's what you're trying to find out.
Miss Turner, that is a gross contempt of this court. I warn you that if you attempt to say anything like that again, you'll find yourself in prison.
Yes, I didn't
in
mean...
In prison, Miss Turner, whatever the outcome of this perjury trial.
I'm very sorry, my lord. It was a joke.
Well, we'll have no more jokes. Understand?
Yes, my lord. I'm very sorry.
Yes. Carry on, Mr. Parsons.
Thank you, my lord. Now, Miss Turner, you are claiming that the police don't always arrest girls for soliciting in the street when they see them, but they have some sort of rota system.
Yes, that's right.
Do you have any evidence to support this preposterous theory?
We all know it. Even Fuzzles sometimes say, come on, love, it's your turn tonight, something like that.
Yes, but it's only your word, isn't it? It's only part of the folklore among prostitutes. Let's come now to the part of Miss Kershaw in this unhappy story. You said that without her active encouragement, you wouldn't have persisted in your determination to plead not guilty at the magistrate's court.
Yes, that's right.
You would have pleaded guilty and accepted your punishment, and all this wouldn't have arisen.
Well, it's not her fault. Fuzz are bad losers, is it?
Well, it's not a question of being bad losers, Miss Turner. It's a question of justice.
Well, that happened, as far as I'm concerned, in the magistrate's court.
But unfortunately for all of us, an acquittal does not always mean the same as justice. Don't you wish now that you had accepted that you had been fairly caught and accepted your punishment?
I wish I'd pleaded guilty, but that's not the same thing.
You accept that you work at a profession that many people find distasteful, that some people even find disgusting. You accept that you had at one time walked the streets. You accept that you spoke to men there. And yet, when the police arrest you, as they've done on several occasions before, you and Miss Kershaw turn on a display of moral indignation and waste the time of at least 2 courts.
My lord, my learned friend seems to be saying that innocent people pleading not guilty are wasting the court's time.
My lord, the point I'm trying to make here is that the word innocent is being stretched beyond its breaking point. No one is claiming that Miss Turner is innocent of prostitution.
My lord, in the eyes of the law she is, because the law does not recognize prostitution per se as a crime.
Yes,
I hope you're both enjoying scoring points, but may I suggest that you save them for your speeches to the jury? Mr. Parsons, pray continue, without implying that the law exists to uphold anything but the law.
As your lordship pleases. Now, Miss Turner, you have said that you wish you had pleaded guilty at the magistrate's court. I put it to you that is because you were guilty.
No, I was not.
You accept that you're a prostitute. You accept you were talking to a man. You accept that if the conversation had come to anything, you would have made an arrangement.
My lord, my client did not admit that. You will remember you ruled that as a diabolical question.
Yes, I'll rephrase that, my lord.
Please do.
Miss Turner, what was the difference in your demeanour between the way you were standing in Brannigan's doorway that afternoon and the way you would have been standing there if you were working?
None, I suppose, none.
So you admit that to a policeman you looked exactly as though you were working?
I suppose I did, but what does it matter? Because I wasn't working at the time.
Yes, but I must come back to the point, Miss Turner, that you said you were prepared to take extra clients. Now, you were standing in a spot where you normally collected them.
But I wasn't soliciting at the time, and you can't make me say that I was.
Oh, I've no wish to make you say anything, Miss Turner. What did you say to the policeman when he came up to you?
I said to him, I said, I'm not working.
Yes, we hear that. You ever said that before? Miss Turner, have you ever said that before?
I may have.
Well, I put it to you that you have, that when you are working and a policeman comes up to you, you deny it.
I don't deny it in court, though.
We're not talking about the courts, Miss Turner. We're talking about the high street. Would you normally deny the fact that you were working when approached by a policeman?
I probably would deny it, yes.
Yes. So when you told P.C. Wilkins to go away, he would have found that perfectly normal.
My learned friend is asking the witness to speculate, my lord.
Yes. I withdraw that, my lord. Were you surprised when P.C. Wilkins didn't believe you?
No, I don't suppose I was surprised.
No. Did you tell him you were shopping?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell him you had a friend in the store?
No, I didn't.
Really? You could have established your innocence there and then beyond doubt, if innocent you were, by telling the constable you had a friend in the store, but you didn't do that.
No, it didn't seem fair. I mean, I didn't know if she wanted to be involved. I don't drag my mates down with me.
Oh, come on. Now, you're not asking the court to believe that you didn't tell the constable you had a friend in the store out of a tender regard for feelings.
Yes, I do. Aren't prostitutes supposed to have feelings?
But you changed later.
That's because she insisted, I told you.
Yes, so you did. Miss Turner, it all comes down to this, doesn't it? You were standing in a doorway talking to a man, a doorway you use for soliciting, but this time you tell us you weren't doing that.
That's true.
So let's come to the men you talked to. You don't deny you talked to other men.
No, as I say, I know a lot of men because I've worked on the street, and if I see somebody I know, I say hello.
Yes, and some of these people were your clients.
No, I don't remember talking to any clients that day.
Oh, so all of these men were potential clients.
Well, I'm talking to you. Does that make you a potential client? Because Judge told me I can't solicit in court.
Yes, but you weren't in the court that afternoon. You were in your regular prostitute's beat.
I don't have a beat. I work at home.
Ah, yes. And you told us, Miss Turner, you left the streets because you had been picked up by the fuzz once or twice.
Yes,
Not because you particularly disliked the streets, but because you'd been picked up once or twice.
Well, it's better at home.
No, answer my question. Do you particularly dislike the streets?
No, I don't. No, not all that much. No, I don't.
And sometimes you like the occasional thrill of picking up someone new just to keep your hand in, perhaps?
That's a joke, that is. After being a prostitute for 9 years, I can tell you there's no thrill in picking up a man.
Really?
Yes.
Now, you heard Mr. Hall recall a conversation he had with you. Do you deny the accuracy of what was said?
Could have been like that.
But he says that you invited him to spend a half hour with you.
That wasn't serious. It was jokey. Just because I'm a prostitute doesn't mean I don't joke.
Come now, Miss Turner, are you seriously asking the court to believe that you, a known prostitute, invite someone to your flat for half an hour and you're not serious?
I couldn't be. I was shopping. A lot of men joke with prostitutes. I wouldn't dream of going with them. They know it's safe. It makes them feel big.
But you don't deny that you invited Mr. Hall.
No. Look, I might have said the words, but it was a joke. I mean, I knew he wasn't serious. It was a joke. I wasn't serious.
A joke?
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Turner.
Miss Turner, have you ever tried to hide the fact that you were a prostitute?
That would be a bit daft, wouldn't it? Because if I was the only person who knew I was a prostitute, I wouldn't make much of a living, would I?
Precisely. And you made the point that you worked from your home and did not solicit.
Yes, that's right.
Did you enjoy it, working the streets?
It's very risky working streets. You've got a very good chance of being beaten up every now and again.
By clients?
That's right. Some men, you see, they don't enjoy normal sex, just like hurting people. And if you're on streets, they think they've got rights over you.
Well, surely that must happen to you at home.
No, not as a rule. You see, you've got regulars, or they're people that have been recommended to you. And anyway, you've got more control in your own home.
But on the streets, you have taken a few beatings.
Oh, aye.
So you were pleased?
Some men look as if butter won't melt in their mouth. You get them down park and bang, you got a black eye before you know where you are. They're just like hurting people. I mean, I don't understand it myself.
So you were pleased that there was no need to openly solicit?
Yes, of course I was.
And you don't need it anymore for the occasional thrill?
No. People get the wrong idea about prostitutes. They think because they like picking up people, then we do. But you see, it's a job to us. And anybody wants to do their job in the easiest possible way.
And for you, that is at home.
Yes, it's still not that easy, mind you. My neighbours don't like it.
Miss Turner, could you tell us again why you didn't wish to involve Miss Kershaw at the time?
It just didn't seem right, really.
Well, would it be true to say that you would be against telling the police anything unless asked.
Yes.
My learned friend is blatantly leading this witness.
Yes, my lord, I will withdraw that question. Miss Turner, can you think of any reason why the police should seek to charge you with a crime that you did not commit?
No.
Thank you, Miss
They've
Turner.
made a mistake, and now they're trying to save face.
No more questions, my lord.
You may return to the dock.
You are Miss Joan Kershaw.
Yes.
And where do you live?
10 Elm Mansions, Elm Court, Fulchester.
And you are a social worker with the local authority?
Yes.
How did you come to know Miss Turner?
I met her when she was in hospital. She had an appendix operation.
That was about a year ago.
Yes, that's right. I visited her routinely and we chatted. We became friendly.
Did you know that she was a prostitute?
Oh, yes. She was very open about it.
And what was your attitude to that?
I was sorry about it. Sylvia's a bright, sensitive girl, and I was sure she could live a much more fruitful life than the one she was living.
But you don't condemn her for what she does?
As a social worker, it's not my place to condemn or condone. Just help if I can.
I see. Now, what happened on the day in question?
Sylvia and I went out shopping together. We had made several purchases and time was getting on. We split up for a few minutes. I went into Brannigan's to buy some tights and Sylvia went to the jeweller's. She had to collect a watch that was being repaired. We arranged to meet at the entrance of Brannigan's.
What happened then?
I finished my purchase and when I came out she wasn't there.
Who told you what had happened?
The supervisor at Brannigan's. She had evidently seen it.
And what were your feelings then?
I was shocked, of course. Sylvia hadn't been soliciting. We were shopping. We were just about to have lunch at the Red Lion. Sylvia just would not have picked anyone up and just left me flat. It's inconceivable.
But Miss Turner was and is a prostitute.
I know, but she's given up working the streets. She doesn't need to anymore. She has a group of regular clients. It's a surprisingly settled, even sedate life.
And you're absolutely sure that Miss Turner could not have been soliciting?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Miss Kershaw.
Miss Kershaw, you sound almost envious of Miss Turner's life.
I don't follow you.
Settled, even sedate, you said.
It is.
Do you then approve of her profession?
No, of course not. I think she could do a lot more.
Would have a longer list of clients?
No, do something else. Make more use of her mind, not just her body.
Yes, well, she seems quite happy.
Well, she is now, but how long's that going to last? I want her to go to college and prepare herself for getting old, becoming less attractive.
You talk as if you regard her as some sort of sportswoman, a tennis player or a swimmer or something.
Oh, it's not so different. A tennis player and a prostitute both use their bodies to entertain the public for money.
Are you seriously suggesting, Miss Kershaw, that you can compare someone who's dedicated themselves to preparing their bodies to a fine pitch of excellence with a common prostitute?
I wouldn't generalize like that. Some sportswomen abuse their bodies for gain. Take anabolic steroids, for example.
Yeah?
Or in the case of some young gymnasts in Eastern Europe who take drugs to delay the onset of puberty. I would consider this to be far more immoral than straightforwardly providing a sexual outlet for men, some of whom are unattractive or crippled in body and mind.
You make prostitution sound like a noble calling, a high form of social service.
It isn't, not in this country. It is in some others. In Japan, for example, a geisha is trained to a high state of perfection in providing social and physical favors for money.
Yes, but we don't live in Japan, do we, Miss Kershaw?
No. We live in a society that is hypocritical and dishonest. We are not willing to face up to the problems of sex for those who cannot enjoy what we consider normal sexual relationships. And we persecute those girls who do.
Girls nobly sacrificing their bloom of youth to satisfy the lusts of men?
I didn't say that. Prostitution is often exploitive, both of the girls and the men. We can't evolve proper and civilized ways of dealing with difficult problems until we are willing to talk about it, face up to it.
I see. Yes, Mr. Parsons?
My lord. Miss Kershaw, you used the word persecute. Do you believe the police are wrong to enforce the law?
No.
But when they arrest a girl for parading her sex in the streets, you rush hot foot to save her from the consequences of her own law-breaking.
I agreed to give evidence for Sylvia because she was not parading her sex in the streets. She was waiting for me.
Nevertheless, you've said quite clearly and unambiguously that you believe that we are dishonest and hypocritical. No doubt you don't approve of the laws that prohibit soliciting.
That would be a problem I would have to face if I believed Sylvia was soliciting. As she wasn't, the problem doesn't arise.
Well, forgive me, Miss Kershaw, but it does arise. It is not for you to tell all of us whether or not Miss Turner was soliciting or not. It is for the jury to decide. And to do that, they will have to weigh your evidence. And they will want to know whether or not they are listening to a woman who's completely content that perfectly normal, healthy men and women should be accosted in broad daylight by someone peddling sex.
I accept there has to be a balance. As long as society as a whole can't face up to its own sexuality, there probably has to be controls in soliciting.
Well, I'm sure we're all properly grateful to you for grudgingly allowing us to maintain common decency in the streets. I think we're all quite aware now of what your views on this are, Miss Kershaw. Let's now come to the events of that day. You said that you split up and agreed to meet at Brannigan's.
That's right.
But after you split up, you didn't see Miss Turner again that afternoon.
Yes?
Yes. So actually you have no idea what happened in that shop doorway.
I know what I've been told, and I weigh that against what I know of the people who told me.
Yes, we understand that, Miss Kershaw. We are listening to someone who openly supports prostitution, who has referred to it as a high and noble calling, and now you are trying to tell us that a prostitute didn't solicit someone who you didn't even know she'd been arrested. We are weighing what you say, but now answer my question directly. Did you, from your own observation, see what happened in Brannigan's doorway?
No.
Thank you. Have you ever seen Miss Turner soliciting?
Yes. About a year ago.
Yes. What did you do?
Nothing at the time.
You watched this girl flaunt
She wasn't flaunting herself. She was discreet.
You did nothing about it? You're a social worker, and you saw this girl, a girl who you claimed to be friendly with, offering her body in the street, and you didn't go up to her and stop her?
She is her own person. She must make her own life.
Well, it seems it's not just the sight of it passes by on the other side. Don't you agree that as a social worker, it is your duty to do everything possible to stop the exploitation of young women?
Yes.
And this includes supporting a prostitute who is accused of soliciting.
If she wasn't soliciting, yes, of course.
But I mean, don't you agree that society has a right to expect social workers to do everything in their power to support that society?
It depends on the society. It has a right to expect that the social worker will strengthen her clients. That's all. And in doing that, some societies may be weakened.
And who is to be the judge of that?
I don't know about you, but I still make my own moral decisions.
Yes. And the jury will have noted one of them to appear as a surprise witness in a magistrate's court to achieve the acquittal of a known prostitute.
I was a surprise witness only because the police have become used to prostitutes pleading guilty whether or not they are. Because they have learned, even though the police haven't even bothered to prepare a proper case, the bench will always take their word.
It surprises you that the bench wishes to uphold the law and its guardians?
That's very clever. No, sir. It doesn't surprise me that the bench wishes to uphold the law. But it would surprise me if you always thought that the law was upheld by its guardians.
Well, insofar as you are one of the guardians of that society, it is surprising to me that you openly and willingly support someone who flouts the wishes of that society.
I'm not a guardian of society. I'm the servant of my client, and I hope I will always tell the truth to serve them, whatever society thinks.
Well, your zeal sounds very impressive, Miss Kershaw, but we must remember in this case, telling the truth, as you put it, is on behalf of a common prostitute who you compare to an international ballet dancer or a sportswoman because they both sell their bodies. No further questions, my lord.
Miss Scott.
Miss Kershaw, do you approve of prostitution as a way of life in general?
No, of course not.
Then how do you regard it?
As a product of a sick society. When everything else is measured in pounds and pence, why should the human body be the exception?
And in the case of Miss Turner, you wish she would give it up altogether.
Yes, I wanted to get her qualified in something.
But your attitude to prostitution in general does not affect your attitude to a particular client.
Of course not. If social workers were always judging their clients, they'd be useless. We're there to help, not to judge.
Thank you, Miss Kershaw. You may go and sit down. Now, perjury is a very serious offence in the eyes of the law. Our whole system of justice depends on witnesses telling the truth when they've taken their oath during the course of a trial. If you firmly believe that the conversation between the accused and Mr. Hall constituted a sexual approach, then you must find the accused guilty. But there is one principle of law that I must emphasize. Before you can find the accused guilty, you must be satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the Crown has made out its case. On the other hand, before you can find the accused not guilty, you must be sure that when she spoke to Mr. Hall from that doorway, or when Mr. Hall spoke to her, she had no intention of offering herself for sexual purposes. Now, will you please retire, elect a foreman, and consider your verdict?
Will the foreman of the jury please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
And do you find the defendant Sylvia Turner guilty or not guilty of perjury?
Not guilty.
Miss Turner, you are free to go. One moment. We members of the judiciary are not apt to express our own personal views. But there are times when, as a matter of conscience, a man cannot remain silent. It is my opinion that the ruling in the House of Lords in the case of Regina v. Humphreys, a similar one to the one that we've just been trying, is one which is potentially extremely dangerous. It is my view that prosecuting authorities should firmly set themselves against this decision by the House of Lords and should determine never even to consider taking advantage of it. All stand.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are fictitious. You can join us again for another leading case in the Crown Court.